Oh, welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, jobs for May. Still a bit cold here to plant anything out that's tender, but my broad beans are desperate to go out. I've got weeding to do in those containers and top them up, and maybe that'll be ready then for sowing some radish. We grew carrots in there last year. They did get the carrot root fly, so won't be planting carrots in those again today. And then my stored potatoes that we grew last year that were planted in March 24 are growing like mad, as you'd expect, but never mind. Well, I've got to get these out, put onto the trays and give them the water because they've been in here since the autumn. We haven't harvested them because we didn't need them. So, like in past years, I'll let these carry on growing, giving them a good water. And I must remember to use these first, he says. Got some sweet corn far left there, and then my tomatoes that we separated from the slicing up bit. I've still got some more at home, so they're far too small to be planted at the moment. I don't do my tomatoes too early because we can get frost towards the end of May. We had some really nice weather at the end of April, beginning of May, and now it's gone really cold again and there's chances of frost, so we'll leave those be. But we've bought them up. They're in the polytunnel. Hopefully they'll be okay. Can always cover them with a bit of fleece if needed. All the lampshades are out, but I have to water these regularly now so that they take up the moisture. So it's nice and wet in there. So instead of just wetting the beds, we put the lampshades there. That conserves the moisture, helps the plants, keeps the slugs out, and hopefully will give us a nice crop. So those are being watered regular. These are doing quite well. I'm regularly watering these. The water's dropping down into the bed, and now I've tried to lift one up and the roots are going into the bed below. So I can reduce the watering now because they're getting more established. So we've got the crimson broad beans and I think they're Bunyard Exhibition, not sure. But I managed to separate some of the seeds. Looks like we've got a little butterfly. I hope it's a butterfly and not something that shouldn't be there. Is that friend or foe? We don't mind. All creatures have a use. And I'm religiously keep harvesting the asparagus. Probably on a 3rd or 4th week now. I thought I'd finished making the homemade compost, but then I suddenly thought I need to sort these out. Oh dear me, I've got nettles growing out there. Wouldn't it be nice if our plants this plastic, it's the oversized thick plastic, it is a little bit brittle, but I've cut it with the chop saw with the diamond tip blade. But I've transferred the soil when I was finishing my carrots off and moved it up to here. It's sunk again a little bit now, but these are the loft water tanks with the wicks that go into the barrels below. But let's get one of the first jobs done out of the way. Look at all that lovely compost material. It's the nice thing about having no dig beds. The weeds should come out nice and easy. I don't mind a bit of soil coming out because that adds to the actual compost bin. Realistically, I see these are got too big. Oh yeah, moisture still good, so those covers have done well. I think we've just got to just get these out the best we can there. No dig gone, completely gone out the window. I've covered them up, trying to warm the soil up, and I think it might pay me just to leave these open and let any of the other weed seeds grow. But I did a bit of weeding the other day, then I went on to something else, then I went on to something else. Don't get fed up then, because when you suddenly get something like this and the ground's hard, it can be a little bit demoralising. But at the moment, this to me is nice. You can see what you've actually achieved, but shouldn't let it get into this state. But Mrs. K had another hospital visit, regular hospital visit for her treatments, and unfortunately got a massive water infection. It's one that she doesn't get any symptoms. They monitored it last time and said, no, you'll be all right. When she went back again, she's on another lot of maximum medication. Bless her, she keeps going, she keeps plodding on. Right, I'm going to press on with these. I haven't got my radish seed on site, so we'll just manoeuvre to a new location and I'll get these cleared, and I'll bring some material from there to top it all up. Now I remember why I disturbed all of this. If we remember, these were all bowed out, and I got some threaded bar, so I moved all the material over. That's why we've got so many weeds. We disturbed the ground far too much, but it had to be done. So that threaded bar in there. Now you can see this now, how wet that is. There's the wick. I think you can see that. If not, there's a wick there. Look how wet that is compared to that there. But just underneath, again, there's the moisture. So roots go down. Might have to add a few nutrients to this maybe. But I've got a lovely tub full of good composting material. Lovely. One of the channels that I follow, Mike, So Grow Eat, I think it is. But he's got a big field now, and he's trying to grow on that field the best way he can, no dig, etc. He's having a few issues. I'll leave the @ below. Press that, and that'll take you to his channel. And go and look at one of his latest videos, and if you're more experienced, you might be able to help him. I support the channels that support me via the comments. I've been leaving comments on some of the bigger channels and they haven't replied, so I don't watch them. Interaction is key to us all learning. Some of my viewers who aren't registered with YouTube and can't actually physically comment, they drop me a Gmail, and I'll try and answer anything as I can, or they drop me little tips to try. It's my busiest time of the year at the moment. I've got the bank holiday weekend off, then I've got to work 10 days on the trot, or however long. They work every other weekend, so hopefully the end of June we'll see that all sorted. Then we start all over again, preparing for the next lot. We'll let the weather sort that out, but that's all topped up and cleaned, all done for free. We'll pop the plastic back on to help warm the soil up and preserve the moisture. I hope nobody reports me to cruelty to potatoes. We've got some Sharpies Express and Desiree, Picasso and Morris Bard, Desiree, Wilger and Swift, Pencil and Javelin, Swift and Performer, Swift, Sharpies Express, Kestrel and Morris Bard. Oh dearie me. That'll be alright. To make it a bit easier. The water will run through the edge of those cloth pots, but going to the bottom over a period of time. These will be rehydrated because those potatoes will have used all their energy now to get started. See, nearly all that water's gone, so best not water too much. Little and often. When there's any chance of blight, I'll water from the bottom so we don't get any water on the leaves. One job leads to another, but brassicas are over there, so I'll just move everything over. Nice simple system. Pity I can't get any more of this rebar. Certainly comes in handy. It's just as simple as that. Hardest bit's remembering to put the net on before the pigeons get hungry and the butterflies are about. It won't take long, just finding time to do it, but just to get it all level, you can either drop it down or bring it up. Another job done. Bit awkward to weed, so it's best to weed everything best you can before we put the net on. Right, next job. Just before I crack on with the planting the broad beans, I'm just going to set this off. Oh dear. Just so that I can fill that barrel while we're doing the other bits. A bit sunshiny at the minute. I'll just wait till the clouds go in. This has been a complete godsend for watering at the bottom of the plot there, using the 2 pieces of the guttering to get the water to all the barrels. Saves my little legs. So these are the crimson broad beans. I grow them in these plastic mushroom trays using the cardboard boxes that we get at work. Everything then is compostable. Worms and other creatures have been enjoying that. I find only the bean family enjoy being grown in the cardboard rolls, and I pack compost all round to hold the moisture. We've got worms here, centipedes and all sorts. So I do try and practice no dig, but there's nothing to say I can't use an auger. Which works when the ground's a bit more moist. I try and bury the cardboard if I can. Let's try moving the dry stuff away. Hardly any root disturbance, he says. Put all the wet soil back and then cover it all with the dry. Come on, practice what you preach. So this had manure over the winter. Some have grew better than others, but as you can see, love the flowers. The smaller pods on the crimson, but pollinators love them. I've got clarity, so the claret broad beans, but yeah, a crimson colour. I keep thinking of the broccoli. See how moist it is down there. If we're clever enough, these won't need a lot of watering. Normally do them, I normally overwinter them, but hopefully once the black fly appears, the ladybirds will be there waiting for them. At least when you use the auger, it gets rid of all that horrible weed suppressant rubbish. Got 2 spare. I'm going to take those to the straw bale gardening. First of all, just need to put the supports up. I'm going to do it now because if I leave it, it won't get done. So I'm going to plant these up properly another time, but they've got these 2 spare. I think I've got 1 spare of the ordinary ones, but this is an old shovel maybe, but how wonderful is that made? Never broke, and it looks like it's actually broke there. So these bales don't really, oh dear me, as you can see, these bales have been well conditioned. I could probably just push them in. I've had nothing, no soil to it. All it is urine, fish poo, and my liquid manure. Oh dear, I'm going to have to rethink that. Maybe I have to put them in at the top. These bales have actually completely rotted down. I think it's going to be easier with my hand actually. Two fingers, more control. So that's the start of the planting of the straw bale gardening. A bit of grass growing there, wheat growing there, but these bales have rotting down nicely, and I've had it on drain, and this is the liquid that's been coming out. Like I said, it absolutely stinks. Just slip some on the other ones, keep that open, we'll see how they go. Always something to do on our growing spaces. I'm trying not to make the videos too long, but it's surprising how long it takes to do some of these jobs. but keeping on top of them. I'm trying to get there. Hopefully I will get to where I need to be, but still a lot of work to do. Mind you, considering what I've done at home in the garden makeover, I'll leave that on the end screen. We've done really well. I've got a training course in Buckinghamshire on Tuesday after the bank holiday Monday, so I've got to travel down there on the bank holiday and come back to work. Be nice to have a day away from work completely. Sitting in a classroom isn't going to be the best, but anyway, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down for the interaction. Leave me a comment, what you're up to, anything you like, and why not consider subscribing. And don't forget the raffles. Part 1 and part 2 should already be out there. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now. And the alpine strawberries look a lot better than they did last year. Lessons learned. Weed as we go.